Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. Businesses related to romantic relationships. Now, I talked about the lifestyle brands in the last episode. And one of the things I focus on businesses that are going to make money regardless of the situation, regardless of the financial situation. Like it's going to stay there no matter what. You know, there was a TV show, science fiction show that was on roughly 10 years ago. Roughly. It was called Revolution. And in that, the premise was something caused all the electricity to go out in the world, even batteries. So there was no power, so it changed everything. But here's the thing, they still had sex. They still wanted to get together. Anything that you do that's related to facilitating that will make money. If you really think about it. Like, despite everything, you still got nightclubs out there. Yeah, and well, let me start with before I get to that, because that's more into the brick and mortar thing, which I had discussed earlier this week. But like online, how many companies are making money with online dating? Think about it. That's actually lucrative. Charge a little bit of money for somebody just to set up a profile. And indeed, of course, people using other stuff, but even that's still some business. Like you got Facebook and IG and other things. People be going into DMs and everything. Hey, it's related to romantic relationships, because the fact of the matter is people still going to want to have sex. They still want to have companionship, regardless of their sexual orientation. People always want an other. We're drawn to it. It's a part of our nature. Any business that facilitates that is going to keep making money. You know, as long as they're good at it. See, that's the caveat for any type of business. No matter how recession-proof a business may be, you still got to be good at it. So let's assume you're good at it. You're going to make money because it's something that has to happen. And it could be anything. You could speed dating, clubs, parties, singles groups. I remember, once again, one of my 1,000 jobs. Let me just say something real quick. Rom just like to hustle. I could have a full-time job making money and still want something extra. I would work something extra now just to stay busy if I had the free time. I don't have the free time. So, but I worked, it was this guy, he actually started like this sports complex. Bought a sports complex, everything. And it started from a singles group. It started from a singles group. And I remember I've done some events over the decades related to that. You know, I've vended at a couple of speed dating events, been at relationship expos, spoke at a ton of stuff. And it was always lucrative. It's always something that can make money because it's related to a basic need. See, in general, anything that's a basic need of human beings is going to make money, which is why food, clothing, and shelter always make money. People always got to eat. Most sane people have to put on clothes. You know, they both say people got to put on clothes, and people need some place to sleep. Shoot, there's some people making money off the homeless people just by maybe selling them tents. That's how deep it is. But we need to reproduce. We need to have companionship. We want sex. In fact, that's why the sex industry makes so much money. Just people watching it, and there's a lot of people doing that. People want that sexual contact at the minimum, companionship ultimately, but you know, there's any businesses related to that can facilitate that is a good idea. Now, here's the thing with it. You have to be good at whatever the business is. Okay, say you want to do like singles groups. Okay, you need to be good at event planning, different things to bring people together. Or I remember Last thing I remember doing, setting up and selling books at a speed dating event, which ironically, let me go on a tangent real quick. There's always a talk about a so-called shortage of men, but I knew the woman who put on the event, and there was actually extra men there. When they were doing a round, there was like maybe 3 extra men. So when everybody was talking, there was always 3 men just sitting out. And then as they rotated, they'd come back in. But pretty good money, and it also made money for the venue where it was held. It also made money there. Or indeed, the venue that it was held, the young man that owned that place, and it's in Baltimore. Somebody might, I ain't gonna give it away. I don't know him that well, and I don't know. I haven't checked it out in a while. But at the time, he had a cafe, but also a club in the back. And what do people come there for? Indeed, having businesses where people can meet each other, where they can congregate. And I touched on this when I talked about brick and mortar businesses on Tuesday. People want to meet. People want to meet. If you have a good spot, it could be like a good cafe where people can just hang out, they can talk, they can meet, they can interact. That's a very good way to make money. Very good way. Because people get to interact, they get to deal with others, but then they can meet a mate. There's so many things. Retreats. I know people right now who they'll do retreats. They'll do seminars. I do webinars once a month. And just anything related to that, ultimately about finding that mate, makes money. If you look on YouTube, right here on YouTube, many of the dating coaches, male or female, they're making money basically trying to bring people together. And in fact, it's deep. Even people who are against those relationships, they're making money because it's still a basic thing. Because I don't care what happened. I don't care. We could hit a full-fledged depression. Some dude is still going to want that fine woman. Some woman still going to want that big old muscular man. No matter what. No matter what. Indeed, you take away the romantic relationships. If you really trace a lot of stuff, much of the economy is based on those relationships. You get a lot of restaurants, eateries, based on men and women, based on like men and women dating. The jewelry industry, there's so many things. So many things that could be traced, like the origin is men and women coming together. So there's always business and money to be made right there. I want y'all to really think about it. Really think about it. So anyway, that's all I have for today. Yeah, I know the deal. Let's go make that money.